Let's get this cracking. So, a lot of people tell us how we need to find our niche, especially as graphic designers or creatives. We're always told you need to find a niche, you need to find a niche, you need to find a niche. But no one really goes into the detail about what it really takes to find a niche. It's not a magic pill. Like, it's straight up not a magic pill. It's not a thing like, oh, I'm just going to choose a niche and I'm just going to see success and I'm going to be swimming in the lakes of Sandro Pay or dancing on a yacht in Dubai. Like, that's not going to happen all of a sudden. It could happen, but it's not a magic pill. It's not something that you just say, I have a niche, therefore it's going to guarantee success. It takes a lot of work, and I've done it, and I'm still doing it. But there's things that I have learned in my 15 years of being a graphic designer that allows me to think of niching in a more holistic way. And I'm going to go through 4 key areas that you need to cover when finding your niche. I still think it's a good idea to find a niche, but there's just some things, some truths that some people don't really go into a lot of detail. But in this video, I'm going to share the detail about niching. So 4 key areas that it needs to cover, and we're going to cover it in this video. Your niche needs to show that you have experience in a certain area. The second thing is that you need to have a passion for it. The third thing is that you need to make money from it. Sounds obvious, but it's not really that obvious. And then there needs to be an opportunity in it. So those are the 4 areas, and I'm going to break them down in the most simple way possible in this video. So keep on watching, and if you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Now, first off, do you have experience in this area? Now, this is really, really important because you need to demonstrate that you are the person that can solve the problems. If you do not have experience in a certain area, it just doesn't make sense. So I can't just come out and say, I'm going to niche in the area of cat and dog owners. I don't have a dog. I don't have a cat. I used to have a dog when I was little, but I know next to nothing about dogs or cats. Or in the car industry, I have no experience in the car industry. I know nothing about cars. Literally, I drive and it gets me from point A to point B, and that's it. I have no interest in cars, right? And I have no experience in that either. So like, I can't demonstrate that I have the ability to service the car industry. However, there might be someone else that has experience with cars, that they are a graphic designer. So therefore, their portfolio will make sense to a company that works in the car industry or the transport industry or the automotive industry. It will make sense to those kind of clients and those kind of businesses because the person can demonstrate that they have experience in that area. So if you have experience in this certain area, you need to take stock of your experience. Your experience might be in tech. Your experience might actually be in non-profit. Your experience might be in beauty. Take stock of those things. Look back on your life and be like, where have I demonstrated that I have the ability to serve this area? And then start building your portfolio around that. But there is another way. If you don't have the portfolio, you can also create the portfolio. So you can do certain things that will show that you have the ability in this industry. So let's go back to maybe the beauty industry. If you want to be a graphic designer for the beauty industry, you can do a few free or low-cost case studies for people. You have to take it on the chin so that you can get your reps in. Get your reps in and make sure that you can demonstrate that you can work for the beauty industry. A lot of people's friends are maybe hairdressers, they do nails and stuff like that. Say you're gonna do some free work for them so that you can build your portfolio and get a testimonial from them when you do good work. You also need to do good work for them, of course. But take that loss a little bit so that you can build your portfolio in that area and you can get your reps in. This term, get your reps in, is really, really important because some people just jump into a niche and they haven't gotten the reps in. It's just like going to the gym and going for the heaviest weight. You're gonna die. But you start from the small weights first and then you do it. Get your reps in and get stronger and demonstrate that you can lift the heavy weight. It's the same thing with the creative industry. When you're trying to niche, show that you've done the reps and then you can actually hold that industry and serve that industry properly. So do whatever it takes. Start small, get your reps in, and show that you have the experience. Secondly, you need to have passion for it. Do not go into a niche if you don't have passion for it. I don't care about sports. Sorry, I don't know anything about football. Here in the UK, we call it football. Some people call it soccer, whatever it is. I don't know anything about it. I know the offside rule just about, but like, you're not going to catch me doing any work for the sports industry. Well, there's a lot of people. I actually personally know someone that does illustration specifically for the sports industry because he loves football. So all he does like vector illustrations of certain footballers and stuff, and he gets paid to do that. He has a passion for it, and he can do it for a long time because he loves that industry. So what industry or what demographic do you have a passion for? It doesn't have to be an industry. It could be a demographic. So it could be female founders in the tech industry, or it could be products in a certain area, or it could be anything, but you need to have a passion for it. Because you're going to expect to be working on this for a long time. It's just like when you're dating and you're looking to marry someone, but you marry someone that you're not attracted to. Does that make any sense? It doesn't make any sense. You're going to be with this person for a very long time, hopefully till death do you part. But if you're not attracted to the person, you're going to make it very, very difficult for yourself. So in the similar way, are you attracted to the industry? Do you have a passion for that industry? If you don't have a passion for that industry, please don't do it, because you're going to get very frustrated. It's just, the money is just not going to make sense. Even if it makes a lot of money, you're not going to be able to do it for a long time. And it's best to work on something that you're passionate about, because you do the best work when you're passionate about something. Can you talk to the client about that industry for a long time? It needs to tick that box. And if you can't talk for a long time about it, just stay away from it, all right? The third one is, does it make money? Is there money in that industry? A lot of us go for passion, and passion is great. Passion and experience is great. But you're not running a charity. You're not running a non-profit. You are here to make a profit. You should be making a profit off your designs. You should be making profit as a graphic designer or as a creative service provider. If you are not making profits, it's going to be a struggle. Is there any money in that industry? So I'll give you an example, and that's a personal one for me. And I've mentioned it on this channel before, I think. I'm very passionate about the church. Very, very passionate about helping churches with their branding, helping churches with their creativity and all that kind of stuff. I have a background in this. I have a solid background as a church leader, doing creative stuff, doing events, doing music, doing graphic design mainly, and all that kind of stuff. I have so much experience in it, and I'm passionate about it. I really, really want to help churches. But here in the UK, I can't speak for other countries, but here in the UK, there's no money. I would never advise anyone to do church work in the UK and expect to make a profit, because even though it's quite a good niche, the UK hasn't caught up in the sense that they see creativity as something that's valuable. They're catching up slowly, but like they don't really have the budget for the quality of work that they need. So it becomes very, very frustrating. And for me, I've chosen not to serve the church in that way. Like, there's other ways I serve the church, but in terms of business, I just can't do it. So there needs to be a financial incentive for you to look at that niche and work in that niche. If there's no money, don't do it. Non-profits is a funny one. So if you have experience and you're passionate about non-profit, it's a bit of a funny one, because non-profits do get money. There's a lot of non-profits that do have money, and you can make money from non-profits, but some just don't have money. So it's you have to do a bit of exploration and maybe speak to some people that are in the non-profit space. But if you can actually get your foot in the door, it might be quite good. To be honest, I did some work for one non-profit, a very well-known non-profit, and they paid me quite a bit. So, but that's just not an area that I choose to niche in, because I don't have a passion for it. But I do have a lot of experience in it, but I don't have as much of a passion for it. So, is there any money in that industry? Don't go for an industry that's poor, that is struggling, because you're not going to make any money, and then you're going to have to do things cheap just to get those clients, and you can't make a living on cheap work. So it's got to make sense for you based on your expenses and based on your goals. It just has to make sense. It's got to align financially. And the last thing is the opportunity. Is there an opportunity within that industry? Simply put, can you create an offer out of their problems? So there's certain industries that face very common problems. I would say maybe if you were let's go back to the beauty industry. Hair salons. If you're like, okay, I want to serve hair salons, I want to be a graphic designer for hair salons. I have the experience, I have the passion for it, and there's money in it. I don't know if there is actually money in it, but let's assume that they have the money. What are the problems and the pain points that hair salons are facing? So it might be a thing that they might have a shop in the middle of a high street that there's loads of other hair salons and beauty shops and stuff. So the obvious problem that they're facing is that they aren't standing out, and they're not the choice. They're not the first choice for hair on that high street or in that location. So obviously visibility is a problem for them. You as a designer or as a creative, how can you insert yourself to make them more visible? So if you are a web designer, do you create websites that make them more visible, that are SEO optimized? Do you get them higher up on Google? And are their websites, the website, is it easy for them to book, for clients to book a slot at the hair salon? Does the website have the testimonials and stuff like that? Those are things that are measurable. But if there's no clear transformation, you're going to find it more difficult to close those clients, even though you've chosen that niche. So what it takes is that you need to do your research and find out what this niche is facing problem-wise. So when I was going to niche in the kind of hospitality industry, I spoke to quite a few hospitality people, and one of their main issues was actually brand awareness. I wouldn't have known if I didn't ask them that question. So you can ask them, you can go to ChatGPT even and just ask them questions, but it's best to speak to people. Speak to like 10 people and see what the recurring pain points are in that industry. And then you'll be able to create an offer that might be irresistible for them, because it's clear that you solve the problem for them. So is there an opportunity in that, or is there an opportunity in the demographic? Is there an opportunity in the location? There's different types of niches. I'm not going to go into that in this video, but is there any kind of opportunity within that niche that you can make an offer? So I'm just going to recap. The first one, do you have experience? Secondly, do you have a passion for it? Thirdly, can you make money from it? And fourth, is there an opportunity there? I know I've gone through this kind of niche thing, and I've gone through the details about how to actually choose a niche. Maybe I'll do that in the next video. But in conclusion, this whole thing, again, it's not a magic wand, and you need to try things. Try before you buy. See if it's a good fit. Date before you marry. You don't just see someone, be attracted to them, and marry them on the spot. You need to date them. You need to find out if you align. You need to find out if that you're not related. You need to find out certain things that make sure that you are a good match and that you're going to have a good life together. In the same way, if you're going to choose a niche, date before you marry. Try things out. You might not get it right the first time, but you have to try, right? You're not getting any profits where you are now, so you might as well try, right? But try. The whole point is trying. It's not a magic potion. It's not going to solve all your problems immediately, because you're going to try and you're going to learn more, and your assumptions about that niche might be wrong. And then you might be able to create a product based on you actually getting your reps in and doing the work. If you don't get the reps in, don't bother niching. And this other thing, I wouldn't advise anyone to niche from the beginning, because they need to, again, get the experience. So if you're a beginner graphic designer, niching is not really your the most important thing. The most important thing as a beginner graphic designer is actually becoming a better designer. So I wouldn't advise you to niche. However, if you've been designing for a few years and you feel like you're quite a confident designer or creative in your skill, then you can start asking yourself the questions like, maybe I need to start niching in order to get more profitable. So date before you marry, but niche at the right time. Timing is actually everything. Because I've been in the industry for 15 years and I only just started niching a couple of years ago. Make sure that you are in the right position to niche. Otherwise, you're just going to be poor for a long time. It's going to be very, very, very frustrating. And I don't want that for you. But anyway, hope this was a helpful video about niching. If you have any questions about it, put it in the comments below. I have some links in the description as well if you're interested. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.